Could the Buccaneers be looking at a sneaky position in the 2026 NFL Draft? That's what we're going to be talking about on today's show. You're watching Bucs Breakdown by Chat Sports. My name is Reid Bartkus. Wherever you're watching, whenever you're watching, hope you're having a great day. Now, before we get into a sneaky position that the Bucs could go after, this is why you subscribe. I've been doing a lot of work on the Combine, making sure everyone gets as much content as possible because we have a team in Indianapolis, making sure they get, clips of the interviews, GM, coaches, players, and there's going to be a lot more coming out as well, so make sure you hit the subscribe button. Free videos all year long, absolutely 100%, $0. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're climbing. We just hit 1,300 subscribers, which is absolutely unbelievable. So shout out to you guys. I want to hear from you. This is why I'm a host of this channel, is because I want to hear from you guys in the comment section. This is all about you guys, not about me. I'm just giving you guys the content. All right. Speaking of content, let's get into it. Could the Bucs be after a sneaky position in the draft? And then I'm just going to talk about the NFL Combine and like the takeaways from what Jason Licht had to say and what Todd Bowles had to say. Just we got some clips that I'm going to show you from their interview and stuff. But I just want to sort of give my 2 cents and give you guys the content that you might be wanting. So without further ado, you're like, what could this sneaky position be? There's only 11 of them or 22 of them on who knows? But this may be a stretch, but not really, because they did meet with him. The sneaky position, tight end. Could the Bucs go tight end with number 15 overall? Now, I bring up Kenyon Sadiq because he did formally meet with the Buccaneers during the NFL Combine. So that was really, really cool. We've been doing a lot of work of making sure everyone's getting the clips that they need for everything coming out of the NFL Combine. So I've been sort of in that mode, and then I get a message, hey, Kenyon Sadiq met with the Buccaneers. I was like, what could that mean? Could they go after a tight end? I don't know. But we do have a fun clip from Kenyon Sadiq talking about the Bucs and Baker Mayfield. So I would, why not show you this?
Have you met with the Bucs this week?
I have, yes.
Is that formal or informal?
Formal.
How that anything stand out to you in that meeting?
I mean, like I said, all the meetings have been great. It's just, it's a dream to meet with all of these teams, and two, it's just nice getting to talk ball with them.
Baker Mayfield as a quarterback.
I mean, watched him forever. I mean, he does everything well, at this next level, and on top of that, he seems like a great dude as well.
Pretty interesting. Now, it is nothing crazy. I'm not going to sit up here and be like, oh, yeah, he's definitely, they met with him. They're definitely going to draft him. They're super interested. But the fact that they did have a formal meeting with him, talk to him, and he's talking about Baker Mayfield, maybe they, had some conversation or something. I don't want to speculate or anything. But, I mean, it is kind of cool to know that they're interested in the tight end position. Could they go after that in the NFL draft and pick number 15 and use the first-round pick? Because, as we all know, Cade Otton, a free agent this year, and Payne Durham and Devin Culp, now, not bad options, but they have solidified roles as, backups and rotational guys. So I think we're looking for that number 1 tight end. And if it's not Cade Otton, if he leaves, because Fox Sports, Greg Allman, our guy, said he predicts that Cade Otton is going to go to the Jaguars. So could we go get Kenyon Sadiq in the first round? I mean, the guy is huge. I'm so glad I didn't put this picture on with me on the on camera as well, because he would be absolutely huge next to me. But anyways, 560 yards last year, 8 touchdowns. If you watch any of his tape, the guy is very, very talented, and he is definitely the number 1 tight end prospect in the NFL draft. So when you think about, okay, draft order, right? Where is he getting mocked to? What I looked up is Mel Kiper said he's probably going to get drafted to, or his prediction was that he goes to the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, if you see here, we got number 15 pick, and I don't know if any of these teams are specifically looking for a tight end, but as you continue on, you think, okay, maybe the Eagles are definitely, maybe the Cowboys, but I don't know. I think the Eagles are definitely a spot that Sadiq could land, but we do have a pick in front of the Eagles. So does Jason Licht, do the Glazers and Todd Bowles think, hey, maybe we go get a weapon for Baker Mayfield going into a contract year and going into a year that we really need him to be a little bit better than 2025. And he's going to be healthy, so why not go try and get a guy like Kenyon Sadiq, who is a surefire good tight end that would probably start on your squad if Cade Otton leaves. But not only did they meet with Kenyon Sadiq, they also met with Tennessee tight end Miles Kitselman. Now, I talked to our Tennessee Volunteers host. We have a channel here for the Tennessee Volunteers, and Joey Peterson said it's not very good. Now, no offense to Miles or anything, but he only had I think I have the notes here. I think he only had maybe not even 300 yards and like 2 touchdowns, so nothing crazy. But hey, the fact that they're meeting with tight ends thinks, could this be a sneaky position that the Bucs are like really looking after? And I know. I'm sure all of you are getting the comments right now. That's not our biggest need. I know our biggest needs are edge and linebacker. But do you go get Kenyon Sadiq before the Eagles snag him and then trade back up into the first round to go for defense again? The Falcons did it last year. They got James Pierce Jr. Now, I don't want to speculate on that, but he did play very well in 2025. We'll see what happens in the future. But that is a possibility, or you use a second-round pick because this class is a little bit deep in terms of pass rushers and there was a clip of Jason Licht talking about how he might not go defensive line. He's more edge rusher and linebacker and outside linebacker. But I don't know. I think that's a real possibility of going tight end and then maybe using your second-round pick because it's a little bit deeper of a draft on the defensive side of the ball. But you guys let me know. Should the Buccaneers draft a tight end with pick number 15? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Please get in the comments section. I love seeing what you guys have to say. Like I said it in the beginning of the show, this is not about me. This is about all of you. So make sure you let me know down in the comment section what you think the Buccaneers should do if they should get a tight end with the number 15 overall pick. All right, moving on to the rest of the show. My takeaways from the Combine. We got a couple clips from Jason Licht and Todd Bowles to show you, and I'm just going to give my thoughts on it and sort of let you guys see the clips if you haven't seen them already, because the first update is a Mike Evans update. Now, it is not a huge Mike Evans update, but it's just, Jason Licht speaking on the contract talks and what they've talked about with Mike Evans and his agents. But I think, when you hear a GM talk about a free agent who is as tenured and as legendary as Mike Evans is, it's a little tough sometimes to sort of get an answer out of him because he's going to be very, normal and not PC, but like he's not going to give away what is going on behind the scenes because one, that'll give away leverage, and two, it's I feel like it's a Mike thing. But let's hear it from Todd Bowles. Oh, Todd Bowles, Jason Licht, sorry.
Yeah, we'll have a lot of conversations with him. We have a very open line of communication with his agent and his agents, and also with Mike.
Are those communications at a different tenor than past off seasons?
No, I would say we're have the same open lines, same discussions. It's I talk to Mike. He's earned the right to do this and to do what's best for him, and he knows that we'd love to have him back.
So after hearing that, it makes me think a little bit like it's up to Mike Evans. I think Jason Licht, the Glazers, they've all sort of just not put their hands up, but more have said, hey, we would love to have you back. Now, we can talk about a contract, but I think it's up to Mike Evans to decide if he wants to maybe try his luck somewhere else, maybe go to a more of a contending team, because there was an article out there that said, his agents were talking about, if they did trade for a Max Crosby and make them more of a contender, that would definitely sway his decision. So I can totally see why, Jason Light's like, of course I would want him back. But I think it's up to Mike at this point. And it's a waiting game to see what he decides to do, because at this point, the Glazers and Jason Licht, it's more of just like, if you want to come back, we'd love to have you back, but we can't force you back to the Tampa Bay area. And I think he wants to come back, but at the same time, he's earned the right to go see if he can either get some more money or go to a Super Bowl contending team, which we're close. I wouldn't say we're there yet. We didn't even make the playoffs last year. So I don't know. We'll see. We will see. But that's the update, I guess, on Mike Evans and what Jason Licht had to say about it. But if you want Mike Evans to return to the Buccaneers in 2026, like the video. And if not, comment why. So if you're like, I'm not going to like the video, I don't want Mike Evans to come back, then make sure you comment and let me know why. You're saying, hey, he's a little old and he's got injury problems. Let him go hang out in, New England or Buffalo or something. Or like the video and we get as many likes as we can, because I want Mike Evans back on this squad. All right, moving on to the second takeaway from the press conferences. What to expect on offense. Now, Todd Bowles talked about Zach Robinson and, what we can expect in the offense, maybe from Baker Mayfield, or what he's taking from, a lot of the past experiences of having an OC, maybe some experience and stuff like that. So, Todd Bowles, take it away.
Yeah, I've unfortunately had the task of doing a lot of interviews the last 3 years, so I've kind of gotten to interview all the up-and-coming coaches and offensive coordinators and all those things like that. And Zach has he reminds me of Liam a little bit from a game plan standpoint and an execution standpoint, but he's his own person. We're not running the same thing, so to speak, but his personality and style and the way he likes to do things and the way our guys can fit his scheme, I thought was the best among everybody we interviewed. And just playing against him 2 times past year and the year before that. Obviously, I've seen him play 4 times, so that's kind of an audition in itself as well. So I got to see the things he can cause problems for defenses, and I think he'll do a very good job here.
I don't know about you guys. It makes me feel a lot better about this year compared to last year. Now, no offense to Josh Garzard, but like Todd Bowles said, having a guy who has a little bit more experience. Now, Liam Cohen had experience in college, like he said, but we got 2 years of experience from Zach Robinson in Atlanta. It's a little bit different when you're calling plays for an NFL team and for 2 years in a row. So I think that experience makes me feel a little bit better, and his confidence in him, and it feels like Todd Bowles can sort of focus on him being the head coach and focusing on the defense and getting that better, because he did talk about changing up the practices and how they prepare. So I think that's very good, and he's got the connection with Baker Mayfield. Now, comparing him to Liam Cohen and the scheme and how they prepare, I love that, because Baker Mayfield in 2024, his best year by far, probably in his entire career. 4,500 yards, 41 touchdowns, and only 16 interceptions, completing about 71% of his passes. And when you look at, who's protecting Baker Mayfield and the type of, I want to say that the injuries, you can't lean on that, but this is our starting offensive line, and it was ranked 6th going into 2025, and they never snapped the ball together. And that just really ruins your flow on offense. And continuity is key with the Buccaneers. Like I said, they never had a snap together. So when you go into the year thinking, all right, I got the entire offensive line, we're ready for Baker Mayfield to have a better year, and then immediately you're hit with injuries with Tristan Wirfs and Ben Bredesen and Cody Mock. You can't really see the potential of what that offense could be. And now, is it the injuries? Is it Josh Garzard? I think we're going to finally find out. You have a healthy offensive line. You have an experienced play caller in Zach Robinson. Feels a little bit closer to what 2024 was rather than what last year was. Now, hopefully everyone can stay healthy, but I think that scheme of Liam Cohen and that similarity between the two, because they worked in LA together, I think that's going to be really, really helpful for this offense and for the entire team as well because, like I said, Todd Bowles can lean on Zach Robinson being inexperienced OC and then focus on, other duties as well. So I'm very excited for what 2026 can bring on the offensive side of the ball. All right, addressing the pass rush is the last thing we're going to talk about on today's show. I have a clip from Jason Licht talking about, looking at the pass rush and sort of what to expect, or I guess what they're looking for. But why am I still talking? Jason Licht.
That is an area that we need, that's one of the areas that we need to focus on, whether it's free agency, draft, what have you. It's obvious that, NFL it's a pressure game. You need to get pressure on the quarterback in order to win. And it's not like we were getting blown out of these games. We were in a lot of close, tight games. But I think in order to take the next step from where we were in, previous to 2025, which I think we will be, to take the next step, I think we need to get more pressure on the quarterback.
I mean, couldn't have said it better myself. It needs to get fixed, no matter what. You just got to be better. But the Bucs ranked 23rd in QB hurries in 2025 with 45 hurries. Now, I was scouring the internet trying to find a ranking of, pressures and stuff like that. And I mean, our pass rush was not good. And that is something that we really need to focus on in terms of the draft, free agency. And, he said wherever, whether it be the draft or free agency, you just got to find guys who can get to the passer. Now, if you're looking at top edge rushers in the draft right now, Ruben Bain, obviously, he is out of our reach. David Bailey, probably out of our reach as well. Now, Cassius Howell, he is definitely within our grasp at 15. So we'll keep an eye on him. Now, I did hear about Cassius Howell, and I think it was Ruben Bain as well. Short arms, and that is never good for an edge rusher. So Keldrick Folk is a little bit more on my radar now as well because he's got great arm length, he's great production, and we'll see what happens. And then T.J. Parker has been climbing up as well, so the edge rusher out of Clemson. But if you don't want to go in the draft, how about you go in the free agent round, right? Apparently everyone is on free agency except for Trey Hendrickson. He's on the Bengals. No, I'm just kidding. That's my fault. Don't look at the Bengals logo. But anyways, Trey Hendrickson from Cincinnati, getting a little bit older. His production took a dip after 17 and a half sacks the year before, but we'll see. Jalen Phillips from Philly, he is very, very good. I enjoy watching him and his potential. Do they sign him again? I don't know. Dafe Owe from the Chargers, Boye Mafe, Super Bowl champion from the Seattle Seahawks, or Kevon Chasen from the other Super Bowl playing team in the New England Patriots. So whether it be in the draft or in free agency, I don't care how you do it, just get better. That is literally all I want. Just a little bit better. Like if you want to go sign a veteran like Khalil Mack or whatever and try your hand at that again, like a Hassan Reddick, as long as it makes you better. Like just do whatever you can to make this pass rush better and help the entire team, because when the defense plays well and they're stopping the offense, you don't have to score as many points on offense. So either way, just get better. And those are my takeaways from the press conferences at the 2026 NFL Combine. We'll have more content coming for you as the later wait. Is that hut? Let me try that again. We'll have more content coming in the later days with more 40-yard dashes coming up, and we'll take some more deeper looks into more targets for the Buccaneers. But before I trip over any more of my words, thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you like the video as well. If you actually did like the video. If you didn't, just subscribe. It's okay. All right. As always, fire the cannons.